Modern Warfare 2, one of the most anticipated Call of Duties of all time, hyped by the most popular artists like Lil Baby and Nicki Minaj, and built off of the nostalgic feeling of the Modern Warfare name. It was supposed to be a next step with new movement, maps, and playstyles. With everyone joining the hype, it seemed like we were in for a good year. It seemed like they really until they didn't. Because let me tell you, bruh, this was the worst game I've ever played in my entire life, and yet I still grinded it. Today we're going to talk about exactly why Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was the worst Call of Duty of all time. We're going to talk about everything from UI to gameplay, just so I hate effectively. From having one of the most anticipated releases of all time, they ruined it as soon as they opened their mouth.
And we just put them into three big groups.
They want to talk about different playstyles where you're aggressive, where you run and gun, strategic, where you're more tactical, and then defensive or a sentinel/anchor playstyle, while only focusing on one playstyle the entire game. Not only from the minimap to audio to the TTK. Fast forward to the release of the beta, where the movement not only felt fluid, but you can slide cancel without overdoing it. And not only you can slide cancel, you can bunny hop and do all the advanced movements that you would do in prior games. Fast forward 2 months later, they release a game that is completely different than the beta. In what world? What happened in those 2 months? Do they genuinely wake up one morning and say, how can I ruin the player experience? What can I do to genuinely make this game absolutely dog shit? Let's talk about core gameplay issues. Besides the fact that they nerfed movement from the beta, whether that be slide canceling or bunny hopping. But okay, let's give them that. Maybe the movement is unintended. Well, then they took out Ninja, okay? Ninja has been a staple in Call of Duty for years. And even if it wasn't a staple for the prior years, there was Ninja and Vanguard. And if there was no Ninja in MWII 2019, at least you had Dead Silence. In this game, every single time you pop Dead Silence, you announce it to the entire universe that you're popping Dead Silence. Can somebody please make that make sense? I'm not even done with Dead Silence because the player is not even fully silent. You can hear the player panting like a dog every single time you jog with Dead Silence. And okay, let's give them Dead Silence, okay? Let's give them Ninja. We actually don't even care about being heard. We're fine, because at least there's red dots on the mini. There are no red dots on the minimap, okay? They took away red dots on the minimap. That might be the craziest decision I've ever heard in my entire life. They had no red dots during the beta. You had professional players, content creators, or little Timmies telling them, yo, put the red dots back, and then you have the head writing a thesis as to why they want to keep red dots away.
Get some help.
It's fine, right? It's fine. What's not fine is the fact that you die in legitimately a bullet, okay? And then we get to something where you don't even have your perks when the game starts. I need the person that made these decisions to genuinely go to prison. What is the whole point of having certain perks if those perks take time to activate in the game? You have perk 1 and then it goes to perk 2. By the time you get to perk 3, the game's over. If you're on a terrible team, say goodbye. And honestly, it's really not that big a deal. You don't have any hardcore. You have the fastest TTK of all time. No movement. Weapon bobbing, no red dot, sound EQ, no ninja. It's all fine, right? It doesn't even matter if you can get your perks. Who cares about perks? And then the map design is the worst map design of all time. And genuinely, I don't even need to go in depth about this map design. All I have to do is just put one map on the screen right now. I'm gonna give you guys about 2 to 5 seconds to digest this. And then we're gonna move on, because if I continue to talk about this map, I might lose my mind. Listen, bro, they wanted this Milsim 2008 tactical shooter when we literally just had one of the fastest games of all time for 2 years in a row. That actually makes no sense, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm losing my mind talking about multiplayer, but I might lose it some more talking about Warzone, all right? Warzone 1, being on one of the most fluid engines, had legitimately the entire community at its hands. At one point, it was competing with Fortnite. It had hundreds and hundreds of thousands of viewers. It had all these creators streaming 24/7. The game was genuinely at its peak. As soon as the beta for Warzone 2 dropped, everything fell apart. You had these creators that were grinding the game 24/7, telling them, yo, you gotta get rid of this. You can't do this. You can't have this. You can't have this. And what did they decide to do? They stayed true to their mindless, spineless, and gave us a product that not one soul wanted, bro. Why is it that you create a map that's better than Caldera, better than Verdansk, and then strip everything that made Warzone what it was? How can you fumble a map like that? How can you fumble an opportunity to not only progress Warzone, but progress Call of Duty as a whole? And then just let it go because of your ego, bro. That it genuinely makes no sense, bro. If any developer, if anyone is watching this, retire. Warzone 2 was genuinely a cultural reset. Every time you mantle something, it was as if you're holding on for dear life, trying to do a pull-up. Everything was slowed down. Every time you get shot, you can't move. You can't even do any type of movement. Audio was messed up. It was inconsistent. You had this shit backpack system as if you were playing PUBG, putting 50,000 smokes and 50,000 precision airstrikes into their backpacks and moving along the map, bro. That makes no sense whatsoever, bro. On top of that, you can't buy loadouts. You can only buy certain guns. You can't even have your perks. You can only buy these shit perk packages. I don't even know who made them up. You gotta leave the company, brother. You gotta delete whatever type of resume, whatever CV you have, and just move on to a different direction, bro. That was the worst decisions ever, bro. I know I keep saying worst decisions ever, but bro, I'm telling you, this game and whatever decision that they made, whatever route that they chose to get to these decisions, it just needs to be studied. No, I ain't gonna lie, bro. They gotta give it to Harvard. They gotta study their brain. And the saddest part is when Warzone 2 dropped, everything that players did in Warzone 1 and prior games, their progression, their hard-earned money to buy these cosmetics and skins and whatever they bought did not transfer over. The only thing that they cared about was you trying to play the game, going to the store and buying bundles like the messy bundle, Godzilla bundle that they update every week for $20, bro. They don't care about their player base. They don't care about you as a player. They don't care about your opinions. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, content creator, Lil Timmy, whatever it is, 5 years old, brother. You are all equal. The fact that every time you went on MW2 and it looks like a Hulu screen is in itself the worst possible experience of all time. The whole idea of Warzone 2 was supposed to be a next step. It was honestly supposed to be a progression towards something bigger. Same thing with Modern Warfare 2. It was supposed to be a progression built on nostalgia, built on any of the positives that came before. MW2 came out, destroyed the Call of Duty fan base, and tried to go back on its word that it was going to be a 2-year cycle because of how awful it was. Dropped MW3, which was a solid game, and then fumbled the bag with Black Ops 6. If there's any indication of how next game is going to go or next year's going to go, it's going to be absolutely dog. Welcome to my TED Talk. This took me way too long to edit, not gonna lie. And no, I did not forget this video shout out. This time is gonna go to Nardy Barty. I was here first, by the way. I don't even know why I yell like that. I ain't gonna lie. If y'all want to shout out, comment down below. Next video is gonna be a Call of Duty Champs breakdown and parody, which happens at the end of this weekend. I already did 3 majors so far, and this is gonna close out the CDL 2025 season. And I will see y'all there. Peace.